welcome back. Today I'm going to do a video all about sentimental clutter. We've all been there, we've all got it. Even those that have decluttered and got round a lot of past trauma relating to things still hold on to things. We all do. Sentimental clutter, what is that? That is many things. We tend to feel that sentimental clutter is based on loved ones handing things down, and then when they're no longer here we feel we need to keep it, when it has no place. It has, it brings no joy to us in our life anymore, but we feel we should keep it because we were given it. That is just one type. We may keep old school files, an old t-shirt from an old boyfriend, letters from best friends when you were 10 years old. It can be so many things. The problem we have with this is we link memories to them, and then we feel that we need to keep them. So the first question to ask yourself is, are these items boxed up, hidden away, up in the loft? Are they not seen, or are they actually out on display being loved, and sparking joy in your life all the time? That is a really big one to ask, because if it is boxed up, there's a reason. There may be many excuses attached to those reasons. Oh, I haven't managed to go through it, or I will get in the loft at some point, or it's a box that I'll open in 10 years time. But actually, open it, see what's in it, feel each thing. Is it bringing you joy? Is it something that really you want to hold on to, or are you holding on to it because of guilt, the fact that we feel we need to hold on to these things? So we can also be looking at old paperwork. I've got loads and loads of things from the boys, 3 boys, it does add up. Old preschool stuff and first paintings and, report cards and all those things. Actually, I've now learnt to keep those little things that really mean a lot to me and not feel guilty to get rid of all the rest of it. A few key pieces is worth so much more than a box of unopened stuff. Okay, so have a look through those things. It could be that you've got old cards, Christmas cards and birthday cards that actually you put together after the event and you've not looked at for years, but maybe there'll just be just one card in there that you need to keep, that really brings back that emotion in that moment. Knickknacks. Let's talk about knickknacks too. We all know them, we all have them. When my gramps passed, I kept the most strangest of things, because in that moment that's what I needed. In my grief and in my overwhelm, I needed to keep his old toothbrush, half used aftershave, half-eaten packet of Mentos or whatever they were, extra strong mints. I needed to keep all of those things in that moment, and that was okay. But I went through earlier this year, I went through the boxes of things that I had because they were gathering dust. They were not bringing me joy because I could not interact with them. I could not look at them because they are just boxed and piled on top of each other. So I grabbed the boxes, I put them on the bed, I grabbed a black bag, and I went through each thing, held it. Is this bringing me joy? Is this something that I want to cherish in 20 years' time, reminding me of the man that he was? 98% of the stuff went because it was just physical matter after I'd taken the emotion out of it. Now that's different for everyone, and it has been 5 years now that I've worked through my own, grief and the stages that I've been through, but I now feel joy when I hold his handkerchief, or I open a book that he'd given me from a long time ago, and it just has those nostalgic smells as you turn the pages. So those sort of things are really something to look at, but don't feel guilty if in that moment you feel you need to keep them. There will become a time when you can release most of the physical items that you hold on to. It might not be right now. I do recommend going through sentimental clutter after you've done most of the mundane clutter that is around your house and internally, because it can trigger a lot of past trauma that we need to heal from the inside, and that's okay. It's meant to do that. It's meant to bring up these raw emotions and things that we thought that we dealt with, and we obviously haven't. So just be aware of that, just be mindful of that when you choose to open those boxes of things. Do you have hand-me-downs? We all have them. We all get given with the best will in the world. People give to us, expecting us to then need or take on what they no longer need. I think it eases other people's guilt about getting rid of things. That might cause a little bit of stir with people. But I also know that sometimes it is just because they're trying to help. What makes you feel stuck in being able to not be able to say no, thank you? Is it the feeling that you must take on these things because that's how it's always been? Do you always get given a black bag of things every now and again when you go round to, Aunt Mabel's house and she gives you all these things? It's about looking at what sparks joy. And if those things are not, then let them go. They've done their job and they will help somebody else. It might not be you. So when we look at memories attached to sentimental clutter, when we hold anything in our hands that is sentimental, it will bring back memories. But do we really need physical items to bring back those memories when they're imprinted in our hearts? This is something that I have really struggled with myself in my own journey, and now I've come to understand that actually every memory I will ever need is inside me. And that does not matter whether or not I have 15 different China tea sets or one picture of all 15 China tea sets. I don't own 15 China tea sets, but as an example, So maybe you need to take some pictures of these things. Whatever it is that is lying around that you can't bear to go through or part with, but is boxed up and not being used or giving you joy. Take photos of these things, go back to them in a few weeks or a few months at a time, pop them away, but be aware that you've popped them away and see whether or not you go back to those boxes within that time frame. And if not, and you've not pined to get something out, there's a reason, okay? So don't be afraid to let those things go with love. Hold gratitude for what they've given you in that moment, or what they've given the person who had them before, and then send them on with love so that they can go and help somebody else. There are many charity shops out there. You may put stuff on FacePay, on Facebook, or on like free sites, Gumtree and those kind of things. Don't feel that you need to burden yourself with what you've been given. It is just physical matter. And we all have personal possessions, physical possessions, but we do not need to have everything we've been given and never let go of it. That is something I have learned. Memories are within you. Linking them to a physical item, that's okay, but remember it starts in here. It all starts in here. So, make time to look at those sentimental things that you have around you. Be aware that they may spark quite a lot of emotion, especially if you haven't got them out recently, or they've been tucked away in the loft or under the sofa for 15 years. Just be aware of it and actually be really honest with yourself. Is this sparking joy within me? Is this adding to my life? Or is it adding to the physical amount of items that I already have and that I'm drowning in? It's really important to understand that you are not your possessions. So I think we've covered most sentimental things. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel, Natalie Collins Intuitive Medium, if you like the videos that you're seeing. This is a very different route for me. As a medium, I have lots of work to do there, but I am so much more. I do many different things, as we all do, and I do feel like sharing my journey on getting rid of all this excess physical possessions that I have around me, my journey with minimalism on the inside and the out, I think it needs to be shared, and hopefully it will touch one person and then it's done its job. It doesn't matter how long it takes. All that matters is that I've helped one person. Directly, indirectly, it does not matter. We're here to help others. What's your story with sentimental items? Do you have boxes full of them? Do you have a few key pieces? Do you have a pair of earrings that spark joy and remind you of somebody very close to you? Or, you know, do you have bin bags of clothes that you were given in that moment? They're no longer here, or maybe they are, but you don't feel able to get rid of them. Maybe your sister handed you down loads of things as she grew up. Talk to me about it, you know, comment below, let me know. I'm really interested to understand the process that you're in, and whereabouts you are in that process. It's really important to talk. So thank you for watching. Please do subscribe if you can. Give me a thumbs up if you like this, and meet you again. Ciao.